In a quiet harbor town at the edge of the known world, where the last ships returned with empty holds and tired crews, a young explorer named Lyra lived among the nets and the salt. She had grown up listening to sailors' stories of places that no longer appeared on any map. Most people called those stories lies. Lyra called them unfinished. One gray afternoon, she found an old leather map sealed inside a broken chest washed up from a shipwreck. The parchment was soft with age. In the center of the map, drawn in faded ink, was an island that did not exist on any chart she had ever seen. Beside it was a single line of writing, "Where the sky touches the sea." That night, Lyra made her decision. She sold her small house, her tools, and every possession that could not fit into a sea chest. With the money, she bought a sturdy, single-masted boat, repaired the sails, and stocked it with water, dried fish, and hope. At dawn, she cast off alone, leaving the harbor without a word of goodbye. For 3 days the ocean was kind. The wind was steady, the sky clear, and the boat cut cleanly through the blue. Lyra slept under the stars and woke to the sound of water against the hull. On the 4th morning, the horizon turned black. A storm, unlike any she had known, rose without warning. The wind screamed. Waves the height of houses slammed into the boat. The mast cracked with a sound like breaking bone. Lyra tied herself to the wheel and fought the storm through the long night, salt water in her eyes and fear in her chest. When the first light of morning finally returned, the storm had vanished as suddenly as it had come, and there, rising from the sea, was the island. It was more beautiful and more strange than any story. Cliffs of dark stone rose straight from the water. Thin waterfalls fell from the clouds themselves, vanishing into mist before they reached the sea. High above, birds with silver wings circled in slow, silent arcs. Lyra guided her damaged boat onto a narrow beach of white sand. When her boots touched the shore, she felt the weight of being the first person from her world to stand there. The air was warm and carried the scent of salt mixed with something sweet, like flowers that no longer grew on the mainland. She walked inland. The jungle was dense, but not hostile. Trees whispered when the wind moved through them. Ancient stone steps, half swallowed by thick roots, climbed the side of the mountain. Lyra followed them upward, her heart beating faster with every step. At the top of the stairs, the jungle opened into a wide courtyard of ruined stone. A great temple stood there, its walls covered in carvings of stars, waves, and ships that sailed among the constellations. In the center of the temple was a circular pool of water so still it looked like polished glass. Lyra approached the edge and looked down. She did not see her own reflection. Instead, she saw the entire ocean, every wave, every lost ship, every horizon that had never been crossed. She saw the harbor she had left, the faces of people she might never meet again, and roads that led only forward. A voice without sound spoke inside her mind. It was neither male nor female, neither young nor old. The map was never meant to bring you treasure, it said. It was meant to ask a question. Are you ready to leave the old world behind? Lyra stood at the edge of the pool for a long time. She could turn around, repair her boat, and return to the harbor with a story no one would believe. Or she could step forward and become part of the endless horizon. She thought of the quiet streets, the empty maps, and the sailors who had stopped dreaming. Then she thought of the silver birds and the waterfalls that fell from the sky. She took one last breath of the island air, felt the sun on her face, and walked into the water. The surface closed behind her without a single ripple. On the white beach, her empty boat rocked gently in the tide. High above the cliffs, the silver birds turned once in the bright air and flew toward the place where the sky meets the sea. And somewhere beyond every known map, beyond every chart and every harbor, a new adventure began.